This is the steps on how to use the Atavist application. Click on a new project, and this dashboard is going to automatically pop up at the top of your screen. So we're going to go ahead and add a project title. I'm going to call this Learning Atavist, and then we're going to go ahead and click this little tiny arrow right here, and it's going to drop down some information that we can fill in. So for a subtitle, I'm gonna type funding a device for the first time, and then under that you can see an option for an author. It automatically pulls your name from your profile. If you don't want to use that name, you can click this little button here and tag back and forth, and you can enter your name. You just want your first name, you can just put that in a nickname, whatever you want to call yourself. And then here under description, there is just a little bit more information. So your title is what your project is called, your subtitle kind of sets the tone for your project, and then your description gives the reader more information if they want to know more before they start. I type in the description there, and then I'm going to go ahead and click save now. Right here, there is advanced settings. If you click on that, it gives you the option to choose the date in which your project is published. You can choose a soundtrack or song to go with your project as people are reading through, and whether or not that starts right is the page opens or later, or with the bottom, whether or not the soundtrack loops tags those advanced. Settings are not really necessary for this project, so we're not going to worry about for now. Okay, we are going to click this little gray box here, and it's going to pop up back over here, and right we have three options. So we have little designs, navigations, and them. These are pretty much the only designs option that you have in creating Atavist. Like I see the class, Atavist is a great about creating really consistent design that allows you to just put your content, everything perfect. This is the steps on how to publish the Atavist application. As you can see, the simple little design is chosen now. So we're going to click on the browse little designs, and this little drawer is going to pop out from the left. And as you see, scroll down, you can see that there are several options to choose from, as far as what the very front opening scene, if you will, is going to look like your project. So you can choose the letters, so just pick you like, and then if it doesn't fit your content, as you start going to go with the 9 ways, and then make sure you click use over here at the button, otherwise it's not going to save. And then you can either have your text me in the top left, top middle, top right, on, and on you have lots of options for that. So I'm going to go with bottom left, and then instead of an image, I'm actually going to do a close color. So you can click on this little drop down menu and have an image, a color, video. We're going to go with a color for this tutorial. I'm going to choose this nice purple. Actually, it's do the dark purple, and then make sure you click save now. We're going to click the navigation. There are 2 options for 8 of us, for us navigation through your project. Someone moves through your project, and for you are going to scroll or navigate. So for the scroll option, these are headings, and they are headings of chapters. So lumens is a chapter, and then the text follows the chapter's little title and then an image, and as you scroll down, there are a pull quote right here, and you keep scrolling, and loomings too. Here's an image, another, and then more text, more image, another. Chapters to have the line up underneath each other, and that's how the reader will go through your sites. The other option is to have its page 1-8, so we're going to click on that options, and you can see once again we have the chapter title up here, and as you scroll a quote, and we're going to keep scrolling all the way to the bottom, and then it stops. I can't scroll anymore, but down here to the right is an arrow and a loomings too. This option is to go to the next chapter, so we're going to click on it, and Viola, here we are blowing to and scroll down, and then if there was another chapter that would also pop up here, but there's not a demo, so we're going to go back to the chapter 1. So those two options, I'm going to choose the scroll option, and then you have options for your table contents. Your table of contents just lays out your chapters so that a reader can skip around between chapters, and they don't have to scroll through everything or click through all the pages. So if you choose to scroll and you click on an option from your table of contents, it's going to jump to that options. If it is the page, it's going to jump to the page. It can either be a left drawer, which means this little menu icon is going to pop up, and then it's going to slide out, or it can be a top navigation. This gives you a whole tab with social icons for sharing these pops out to Atavist, and then it pops down from the top. So those are two options. I'm going to go with a left drawer and a scroll, and then once again make sure based on the search results from the website, Atavist has a high trust rating of 87/100, indicating that it is safe to use. This is the steps on how to use the Storybird application. Alright, so now I'm signed in, and you can see that I have a 6 days left of my trial. This is my dashboard, so this is a kind of what it looks like. So you can just kind of scroll down. You can see your writing challenges, recent writing progress, all of that fun stuff. And then you can also read stories on dashboard, which is a lot of fun. So when you want to write a book, you're just going to go up here to write. So you can see that there is a couple different options. It honestly kind of similar to Wattpad, which a lot of people use, but for the purposes of this we want to do, I mean, you could do a long form story if you want, but I'm going to go with picture book since we're working with kids. Then you can see here we have all of our artwork, and there are literally tons of artworks to choose from, which is a lot of fun. So there is a like the style of it, and then once you click on it, it have even more artworks to choose from. So let's go with this one. This one looks super cute. So you can see here, you have all your different artwork to choose from, kind of a longness story line here, so super cool. And then what going to do is, this is a cover page, so we're going to add a little, and you can see down here there is my username, but like let's say you want to use your first name, or you have like whatever name you use for writing. You can just like change if it, just click in the box and then you just change it. This is the name I use when I'm writing story that I'm figuring out what it's called, but I'm going to use that, so you don't have to like my username. It's Yugi, so I don't want to use it, so don't want to, and then you can just add a little to it, I'm going to call it Bob's Lunch. Obviously, there is a sample. So if you want to make something a little bit more creative, you can instead of Bob's Lunch. And then if you go down here, this is going to kind of the order of your story. So you can go, this is a classic view. You can landscape view, journal view. There is a whole bunch of different backgrounds, but you can choose from there is a super fun kind of along the theme of Bob's Lunch. And then you can also do iconic view, which is use different colors, and then you have a different symbols that you can choose. Over here on the side where my course is some dough, some cheese because it's Bob's Lunch. So then if you come down here back to your like dashboard little section, you can go over here your first page, and then that's when you start writing. You can draw pictures wherever you want you go to. This is you can go over here. You can do it bigger. You can do it over here. You can do it bigger. So there's a lot of different options there for you if you want to do. And then you just put your pictures in here. I'm going to use this one. This will Bob the little. I think there is a wrap is the one I choose. And then what you do is you just click on here wherever your text black is when you add your picture. Oh, you can see that white part, and then that's going to be how much room you have writing. So look, if you're going to have a page a lot of writing, you may want to make it a little bit smaller, so then you can write whatever you want. So Bob was hungry and decided to make some lunch. Just know that the more you type, the smaller words are gonna get. So that's why, like I mentioned, you may want to do it wider so you have more rooms to type. And then you can see also change the font of you want. If you want, you can see there's a whole bunch of different font options here. I think there is Times New Roman. I'm not quite sure. That's part's not like I said. There is change a lot since I first used it. So I don't think you were allowed to choose stuff 9 years ago, guys, which makes me seem and I feel really old. So there's a you can do, I don't pronounce that, you could do that one, it's up to you. And then you do another page, you just kind of click over here page 2, and here's the time. It was hungry o'clock or something, I don't know. Yeah, I'm concerned. Like I said, if you're like dedicated to this, you're obviously going to make it the sentences a lot more profound that it was hungry o'clock. Then if you want to add pages, you can just come click over here to add arrow, and then you can see there's the third page. You can add your page, so you can also do a full page of writing if you want, like he took out the trash, or I don't know, whatever you want to do. It's really fun to play around on. So on 17 is honestly like if you don't have any school to do a day, you've like 5 or 7 hours, you can make like a bunch of books. It's like super fun. I log into my another account here in a minute. If you want, I can like show your story, whatever, but you just keep typing. And you can also, one more thing I will show you, that you can do like, let's say you're like, oh, this makes more sense somewhere else. You can more move location of stories or pages. So you know there's a page 1, there's a page 2, and so on and so forth to play around on. And it's a great way to make stories, because then if you're like, oh my words, I feel like I'm a terrible drawer, then you have the option to use other drawings. And it's like out here kind of like any book, really, you were going allowed to use like drawings. Like obviously you're going to be a fashionable, you'd have to do like copyright information or whatever, but you're allowed to use it. Is so super cool, and drawing is just beautiful on her. It's so sweet and it's so cute.